Welcome back, everyone. So today I want to get started on putting um the gate that David and I built back up again. As you saw in the previous video of James and I removing it, um, I want to set it up, and I'm dodging drizzling here. It's all we've had for the past week. Haven't been able to get anything done, but what I'd like to do is I'm going to put the 8-foot section or 7-foot section, whatever it was. So the fence will actually be, the gate and the fence will be opposite of the way it looked in the back. From the outside, because this will be the outside of the gate, will be here. Where it was in the back, the big section, the 10 or 12-foot section was on this side, then the gate, then there was a little section, and as you saw, I left a little portion of it back by my prison fence, as Brittany likes to call it. So this one, I believe I'm going to put the smaller section here, then the gate. The gate's 12 feet, and then the 10-foot section. And then I'm probably going to add some more to it, more on this side, new stuff, because I'll go back and I'll give you the view that I'm trying to block. But I'm not really going to use this, but I still want to put the gate there in case I want to drive something through here and have a straight shot without having to drive around all these trees and come around this way. Let me turn slowly so you could see. So that's the view that I'm trying to block right there. And I'll go down, I'll make a second one. I won't walk all the way down there with it on. So let me go down there and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so as I talked previously, but just in case somebody didn't watch that video, my lovely neighbor has cut that hole into the easement. And I've talked about before, we have a shared easement in the back that is really of no use to me, and it's really of no use to him, but he feels the need to want to use it just because he can. And he cut that big hole, and he bought some mobile classrooms from the town here, is what he tells me anyway. And it's supposedly 24 feet wide, and that's why he wanted the gate down, because it wouldn't fit. And as I talked about, I'll link the other video to it. He could have easily, I was going to take trees down for him on the other side of where the gate was. You could see where the gate was right there, but I won't go into that. You just watch the other video. But he cut this big hole through here, and supposedly they're going to be bringing it in. And if it's 24 feet wide, I don't even think the road is 24 feet wide, but whatever. So anyway, what I'm trying to do, and I leave this, let these weeds grow up as a buffer. But what I'm trying to do is just to block that view, because depending on where you stand, you can see the greenhouse. And again, it doesn't really matter. I don't want to see him, is what it is, because he aggravates me. So, but like the greenhouse is there, and you can see the bird feeder that's in front of David's house. Well, of course, it's zooming in on this weed in front of me instead. But you can see up there. Well, there we go. Let me get on the other side of it. So all the way up there's a bird bath, and that's where the memorial area is, and the bird feeder. So I basically want to just block that up, and with the trees, that helps a little bit too. But and being up that height from this distance, by the angle, you won't be able to see over top of it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go lay it out. And the thing that makes this more difficult, let me walk back. The thing that makes this more difficult is I have to, I'm going to use the laser, and I have to get the posts exactly the same where the top hinges will fall, because I want to reuse the same holes, obviously, because these are big lag bolts. These are Simpson strong tie big lag bolts. So I want to reuse them, and if both posts are not in the same plane, the gates won't line up properly. So that's why you know, when I did it the first time, it doesn't really matter. You can put the gates on the post wherever you want, but now I have to make the posts be on the same plane. So I'm going to get the laser out. I just waiting for it to stop raining. It's even drizzling a little bit right now as we speak. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll get some shots of that and then dig some holes. All right, I think I just started laying this out. I didn't turn on the GoPro yet, but that's roughly the length of the existing gates and fence that I have. It's 31 foot 8 inches, I believe, is what the total comes out to be, give or take an inch or so. And I kind of wanted the gate that I could open it if I wanted to drive through. So I wanted to have the gate over here, and really the only functional way would be to have it at an angle. You can't really see it on camera, but going straight, part of the gate you'd run into the tree, and that tree's only going to get bigger. So I want to keep it away from it anyway. But I think what I'm going to do, because I was saying earlier that it was going to be backwards, that the small part was going to be on the left and the larger part was going to be on the right from the outside, and that's not how it was before. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start it on this end. I'm going to have the gate, try to get the gate to go between those. I can always cut these lower branches down, and it won't matter. I've been letting everything grow because I was hoping that would eventually block in there. I was even going to stop cutting the grass so that it would grow up here, but I won't have to do that now. And I'm hardly ever going to open this. I mean, I'm really not going to have to. I can drive around, but for some reason, if I needed to bring something straight through, I might as well not have the gate be behind a tree. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out the end of where I want it to be. So probably here, because it's 80 inches, then the post, then it's a 12-foot gate, and then it's another 12 feet, just about 12 feet of fence on the other side of it. So then what I can do, if I still want to continue to have fence this way, I can just put the new stuff here, and this way the fence will, unless you look all the way past it, will look basically like it did before when it was out there. So I kind of like that better. So that's what I'm going to do. And I got to remember to turn the camera on so I catch myself. But I don't know how much time I'm going to get. It's getting dark again, but let me get moving. Okay, so from the top hole right here, I mean, it's 10 and 3/4 inches, I think it is, where the top of the fence comes, but I'm going for the bottom. So from here, it's 63 inches will give me, it's actually 61 1/4. So I'm going to go 63. That'll give me enough off the ground. So when I put this pole in the ground, I've got to have 63 inches, has to be roughly flush with the top. Now this one won't be as critical as the second one is going to be. Oh boy, here we go, raining again. I don't know if I'm even going to get this done today, but I'm going to try. But so we got to get the first one. So I'll mark 63. So what you do is mark 63. Should add a pencil, not a pen. And that will tell me how far to go into the ground. And that's what I dig the hole. So I got to get moving because it is raining. Well, needless to say, literally within 4 seconds of me saying I got to get going in that last clip, it started pouring. So I got the truck back under the lean-to. All the tools are in it. Didn't get wet. I got wet, but all right, we'll see if this stops, hopefully. If not, I'll try again tomorrow, but I wanted to get that first post in because that's the most important one. Then I can do everything off of that. But it's my luck. Now, I debated on having it be on an angle, having the gate part, and then have it go like off on a 22 or 30 degree angle. But I think I'm just going to make it straight, but kind of on an angle. from that tree to about here is about where it's going to go. Everything works off the gate anyway. Like I said, this is a little bit more difficult because everything has to line up perfectly. Not close, but perfectly. Actually, this should probably go even a little bit farther than I went. Back. Sorry, I'm out of camera. But I'm banging in a piece of rebar. Piece of rebar. String. You want these to go farther than you want to go because you'll have to unhook them when you go to put in the posts, dig the holes, and then put them back. So it's kind of like a batter board, except it only goes in one direction. Alright, so that's the general gist of it. Not going to really worry about the overall length. Come on, there you go. You wanted that to happen. So basically I want the gate to be here. Roughly the gate. I made my 6,000 steps already, what do you know? So that's pretty good, I think, right there. Go back down a little bit. And this will be the extra 80 inches that we've already got. 5.5 inches away. Thickness of the 6x6. So this is about where, kind of with that tree, and I just went back and looked before I put the camera back on. I think I'm going to add probably 8. I'm probably going to add 8 more feet. I'll probably end up going within about a foot of that stake right there. So I'll add 8 feet or whatever that is. It looks to be about, it's probably about 9 feet, but, and then I'll probably have to add about the same on the other side, so it won't be too bad. All right, and you can see I broke the concrete off the other post. Did that the other day, wanted to see how hard it was going to be. My son-in-law, Kevin, is supposed to be coming next week if the flights all work out, and I was going to have him break them off with his muscles, but I wanted to know. It wasn't that hard to break off, so I still got to do the other one and then get these laid out. All right, so what I do, I'm going to start with the first post, which is probably in the wrong spot here. Let's move over this way so you can see better. I'm going to start with this one and work that way and then work that way. So we don't really need any of these out, and it's starting to rain again, unfortunately. Boy, this thing wants to catch on everything today. You want it to hold on to something, it never does. And this one went right in the line hook that it's got on there. I've never had it go in there like that. All right, so what I do is I just get a piece of cutoff. 6x6 is what these are. And, well, I should have brought my paint over. That would have made too much sense to bring it over before I turned the camera on. Take some line marking paint. And the reason that you've got the string is obviously to keep everything in line, but it's also for this, because if you don't follow the string, it might be close in line, but you might be off on an angle when you do it. So for marking purposes, I don't even touch the string. I'm about a 1/4 inch away from it. It's basically where I want it. So obviously you need concrete all the way around it, so you want to, basically the rule of thumb is you want to go 3 times the size of the post. So 6x6, you want it like an 18 inch. If you had an auger, that's what you would use, an 18 inch auger. But this ground here is so easy to dig. So that's basically going to be the hole. And this way, I'm going to move the string back, so when I dig the hole, that's why I made the stakes farther past. So this way, I don't have to worry about chopping the string or stretching it. I'll tighten it up again after I do it. But all the measurements are going to come off this post. So where the 4x4 to the right, your left goes, and where the next 6x6 goes over there, I'm going to put this one in first, have it all done. This way, in case it's not exactly where you wanted it, you don't want to have 2 measurements that are off. Not saying it is, but it could be. You're better off to do it this way. So, all right, I'm going to undo the string and dig that hole. And always make sure you clean out your tip afterwards. Here, just a shovel, post hole digger, and I've got a heavy breaker bar to loosen up the soil. Normally I would take the soil and I'd throw it in a wheelbarrow, throw it in the bucket of the tractor, but I'm going to just spread it out over here afterwards, so I'm not going to worry about it. If you've got grass, this really isn't grass here, it's like weeds, but you'd want to do this and take the whole top out, otherwise it will inevitably mess you up for your circle. Okay, well, here's end of the day. I guess you could say it's end of the day. It's just about 5 o'clock, and the rain was just relentless. I came back out, set the cameras up, got ready to go, and it just out of nowhere started raining again. So needless to say, when it stopped, it's actually still raining. I don't know if you can see it on camera. You could probably hear it. Well, I can hear it. I'm sure this will pick it up, but I got it in, so this way it'll dry. Tomorrow I'll throw some sand over top of that concrete, and then that one will be ready to go. And what I probably will do next is put the one to the right, just so that post doesn't move when the gate hangs from it. It's really the best way to do it, because otherwise, no matter how, even if that was an 8x8, eventually it will, even a telephone pole will bend. So I might as well just do that one next. I don't know. Probably both of them. Before I hang the gates, I'll definitely do it. More than likely, I'll do the other 6x6 over here, 12 feet or 12 foot 2 over, and get that one in, and then get the next 4x4 for each side for the 12-foot side, and this was a 7-foot side, I believe. This was 7 foot. So I'm probably going to have to add another 10 feet to this side and probably another 10 or 12 feet to that side as well. But all right, that's enough for today. We'll pick up tomorrow because I don't feel like getting rained on anymore. So we'll pick it up again tomorrow. Okay, it's the next morning. Still looks like it's gonna rain. Hear thunder in the background. But I'm gonna I'm gonna try to get this next one in. So I got that one all graded off around it, and I'm gonna take off those braces. And what I'm gonna do, this has to be 146 inches apart, and I am going to take some 2x and screw them together at 146 inches as a spacer, so this way it's exact. I don't have to worry. The hard part is when you're doing this, especially when you're doing it by yourself and nobody to hold it when you lift it up. Like I could lift up the pole with the tractor and you can move it around, but when you're trying to plumb it in both directions, and what by plumbing means, if you don't know, is you'll hear people say level it. Well, in a vertical direction it's not called level. Level is a horizontal term. Plumb, like a plumb line or a plumb bob, is vertical. So when you're trying to get both of them on a particular, say, string and or measurement, when you're doing it by yourself and it weighs a lot, you know, you're down in the hole trying to move it, hold it, not have it fall over, and not bend the string out of the way. So it'll be a lot easier if I make a make the exact width when I lay it down on the ground. When I do at least the side to side, I'll know I'll have a pivot point that I can push off against. So just a little tip there. So I'm going to get to work on that. I got to remember to set the camera up. I got to get the laser out because I need to shoot, and I'll show that. I'm going to shoot the elevation on the top bolt for the top hinge, so I get what's over there, I get it over here on this one exactly the same. So let me get to work. All right, well, first thing is to get the string put back stretched. Make sure it's not hitting any grass. I should have taken the line trimmer or the push mower and done it over here, but I didn't. And here is the 146 inch. Basically just take two 2x4s and measure them apart and to put a couple of screws in, and that'll suffice for that. Let me get the string stretched, and just to keep it from tipping down, because it's only one piece, just throw a 2x4 under that end. This way it won't be tipped. So there's your 146. There's your string, straight edge, and get the block. And again, this is just for hole digging purposes, so you don't have to be precise right now, but you want to know where it's going. And again, the 3-time rule, so about 18 inches. Good. Don't forget to clean your tip. So basically, I'm looking for this elevation right here, this bolt. Okay, here's the end of the night. I should say it's a Sunday night, and I needed to go pick up some more concrete, and this is a new section that I'm adding there. New section here. That's the existing, and one more section at the end. So I went and picked up what I needed for that, and when I got back, I said, well, if I get these couple in, then my son-in-law Kevin is supposed to be flying in tomorrow, so he can help me on Tuesday. He's not getting in till late tomorrow, but I wanted to get those in, because then tomorrow I can do some of it, or I can wait till Tuesday. We'll see. I might just cut the grass, but I'm not even sure he's going to get here because of Spirit canceling the flight, so we'll see. But at least I got the option now of doing that, so I'm happy and good to go. So, all right, we'll get some more shots when we start putting it back together. Like I said, I'm going to put the gates in first, and then work out from there. So, all right, I'm tired and it's hot. Okay, here we are back at it again. This is Tuesday morning. Kevin flew in yesterday, so he's going just to grab something out of the shop, but I figured I forgot to get my beginning shot. So poles are in, everything's ready to go, all the braces are down, that's ready to go. And once he gets back, we are going to put that gate on first, and that gate, then either this side or that side next. But this will dictate if I'll be able to move these a little bit. If they're off, I'll be able to move the poles before we put those in. So at least that's the plan. So here we go. All right, bringing the first gate around. Kevin's bringing the truck with the tools. this way. You understand? It's got to go, that side has to go through the gate, so you're going to have to pivot it.
Oh, it's going to have to go. Okay, yeah.
Kevin, lift that top off there. Off the post. Put it on the table so we don't spot it. I'm going to drive that way, so you got to make that side go outside. And watch the bottom because it's angled. Like that. Okay, hold it there, Kevin. Hold it there, watch your fingers. I'm going to go this way now. Coming down. Okay, I think that hole line up. Up the hair?
Yeah, up the hair.
Get a bolt. Okay. Just lay it right down.
Down flat, this way?
Surprised there wasn't a nail in there. A little piece of it somewhere to wreck my blade. I'm not done yet though, so I shouldn't say that. This will be the one. Just push that. Push it back. No, a little more. to go in tightly, but okay, we'll have to lift it up, so that'll stay for now. I'm gonna pick it up. Don't just let it come out. It's fine. Get it this side. Just take it off. There's the nail there. Go back down, push it in where it's got to go. Let me get it down a little bit. Alright, there is the existing one, the one that David and I did is now all up. And these two posts are in, the one down there, so just 3 2x4s across and new pickets. So I'm probably not going to record too much of that. I'll just get it when it's done. It's not too exciting. I'll just show how it's done, and then that'll be that. So let's get another hot one. So we got to get working here before we get passing out. All right. So that's basically it. There's the 2x4s, the frame. So you're just going to do 2 toe-nailed screws here, one on top, one on bottom. So that's basically it. It's 8-foot span. It's about what you want to go. Any more than that, you'll start to bow and it's not strong enough in a hurricane. So that side is in. We're going to start over there just in case I run out of pickets, because I believe I am going to add one more 8-foot section here just to balance it off. My OCD likes everything to be balanced. So I'm probably going to add another section to match the other side. So, but I won't be doing it today. Okay, here's the final product installed. I got my 2 sections there. Got the original. I left the end undone because I am going to do one extra. I'm going to put another 8 feet. I'm going to come to right here just so it's more symmetrical. And I am going to add one more 4x4 on this 12-foot section because I don't like it. The reason that this is 12 foot originally is there was a ditch there. As you can kind of see, there was a ditch right here, and all those rebar I had banged into the ground so that you couldn't crawl underneath through the ditch when there was no water in it. but this is a big section. 12 foot is too much. You should really go 8 feet. So I'm gonna put a 4x4 right in the middle and lag bolt it in. So I'm gonna get that when I take Kevin back to the airport on Friday. And I still need to chop the tops off on an angle just so the water doesn't sit on them. But it's good enough for now. I'll get a shot of what it looks like from down by there. All right, here we are at there's where the hole is. I assume that's where his mobile classroom is going to go. I see some stakes there. Why you would want to do that, I have no idea, but what do I know? So here we are. So it's pretty good. It blocks the view, and like I said, I'm going to put one more 8-foot section right there just to balance it out. 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and the original in the middle. That will satisfy my my OCD tendencies. And yeah, so not what I wanted to do, but at least I can always remember it there, and I take care of it. So okay, thanks for all the help from James on the last video and Kevin on this one, and I'll catch everybody on the next one.